difficulty above Obama, which used to be the hardest in the game. And the only hint we're given is there is something hidden among the directory. Before I start, actually, I should mention that this first half of the video, I'm going to be hopping through a bunch of different accounts, which is entirely optional. None of that is something that you have to do. You can skip straight to the part directly after the accounts if you want, but I do recommend you try and find it out for yourself, or just keep referring back to this video if you really want a few hints at where to go before you get to that part, because it's more fun that way. So if you look at the description here of Black Hole Chomik, the hint is there's something hidden among the directory. Now that means the directory is obviously the Chomidex, right? So if we look at the Black Hole Chomik and scroll down the description, we will find nothing. There's nothing there. It's not relevant to this. But if we scroll down further, if we look at the hint and scroll down here, we notice it says A to Z. So that's a hint. Normally we're not able to scroll down in the hint box, but here is an exception, seemingly. So it says A to Z, that means in alphabetical order, right? If we look at all the other Chomiks and think, okay, are any of the Chomiks' names spelled in alphabetical order? I go to Chick. C is before H, is before I, is before K in the alphabet. So we look at this, again, nothing in the description. Don't have to worry about any of that. We're just dealing with the hint box here. So if we scroll down here in the Chick box, we will find, where is it? Should see the number 2 here, right there. So I'm going to bring up a notepad real quick. And I'm just going to keep note of that. 2 is Chick. So this means that, okay, these could be hidden in a bunch of other Chomiks. So when this came out, what I had to do is I had to look through all 105 Chomiks to find all of the numbers inside each of them. So here, if we look at Giga Chomik, we get the number 6. And as one other example, looking at Exceptional Chomik, we get the number 7. Right? So you would have to go, if you were doing a solo, you'd have to look through all 105 hint boxes for the Chomiks. Luckily for me, I've gone and done this in advance, and we get this list here. We've got 10 different numbers, seemingly randomly assorted. Giga, Trade, Exceptional, Chick, Prisoner, Jomik, Right, Malware, Light Matter, Avoided. On its own, this seems pretty useless until you go back to Black Hole Chomik and remember the hint was in A to Z. We've got a bunch of numbers, and we've got a bunch of names. A to Z means that we can probably sort these in alphabetical order. So if I go over now and just, can I select all, please? There we go. And if I sort these in alphabetical order, we've got Chick, Exceptional, Giga, Chomik, Light Matter, Malware, Prisoner, Right, Trade, and Avoided. These give us a 10-digit number, which is, can I zoom out, please? 27678608868. Now, this number is, well, if you know how Roblox users work, you'll know currently that the current user ID for recently made accounts is somewhere in the high 2 billions, which is what the number we've got here is. 2,767,860,868. So if I go over to Roblox and find the user account that has that user ID, roblox.com/users 2767860868, which is the number we just got, and go to its profile, then we find the account called Account Chomik 1, which it's got Chomik in it, so we're on the right lines, we know that. The only issue is, you can look through this entire account, even its inventory, everything, even if you look at its places, which is hidden from the main thing. It's private, you will find nothing here. You've got to go kind of outside the box. So if you go to the game, it's not this one in particular, any game works, but if you go to a game where you can check Roblox outfits, for example, this outfit checker game by Mini Proas, and you type in Account Chomik 1 into the side, wait for it to Chomik, right? So let's keep note of that. Those outfits, for those who don't know, if I go to my profile and go to my avatar, say, go to my costumes, it's these basically. You can give them whatever name you want. If I typed my name in there, you'd see all of these outfits with all of those names. So if we go back and we type in that CEO Chomik account into people, we'll find an account called CEO Chomik. We're on the right tracks. From this point on, I'd recommend, if you're on PC, that you have an extension called BT Roblox. BT Roblox is pretty much just an extension that changes the look of Roblox, basically. Makes things a lot easier to see about the place. So if we go here and we check, like, because normally experiences aren't listed on the side. If you wanted to see all the experiences someone would make, you need to go to the three dots at the top and you need to click on inventory. If you've got BT Roblox installed, it's pretty easy to just scroll down. This is its inventory there. If we go down to the places here, you'll notice that there's an untitled game that wasn't listed in the experiences tab, which is really useful. If we click on that untitled game, we find look somewhere else. Ignore the look somewhere else. That's trying to distract you. This is actually just disguised binary code. So if I go to a website called trinket.io, I'm just going here because it gives me access to Python online. If I go to trinket.io/Python and come up here, I can type in, if I copy and paste that string there, all I'm doing basically is finding a quick way of replacing the L's with 1s and the O's with 0s. So if I run this, it will give me some binary code. So if I go to a binary, I can't type binary to ASCII converter and convert that there, it doesn't give me anything. That's because they're being a little bit more sneaky than that. Binary letters in ASCII don't usually start with 1. That's very, very rare, if common at all. However, numbers that start with 100 are very common in ASCII code, which is the direct opposite of what we've got here. So if I replace the L's with 0s and the O's with 1s, basically inverting the 1s and 0s, we get this separate code here. And if I go and paste this in, it gives us a different account name, Chobolexceptional. So let's type that in and go to the Chobolexceptional account. This is why BT Roblox is better as well, because it shows you the profile right at the very top. So if I go to Chobolexceptional and come here, you'll notice that first thing, straight off the bat, he has a description. But if a code that you find has 2 distinct letters in it, it's most likely a Baconian cipher. So if I go into decode.fr, great website for online decoders, and go to a Baconian cipher, and type in that BA sequence that we got earlier and decrypt it, it says troller. This is just a massive troll. This is a red herring meant to distract you. What you're actually meant to do is you're meant to go to its profile. You notice that this is a pretty default avatar. If we look at its items, this BT Roblox program. Normally it would have like a little tab at the side there that says show items, but I guess that's not there at the moment. But if we look at its t-shirts, we'll notice that it's got 2 of them. It's not currently equipping the Bloxer outfit that Roblox made, it's equipping the Bloxer outfit that this account has made. So this looks like a pretty normal shirt. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with this. Oh yeah, the people have found it. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. Until you actually take a look really, really hard at it. It's really, really difficult to make out. But if you go, I'm going to make it easier by bringing out some image editing software. This is the account, this is the t-shirt that the Chobolexceptional account just made. And this here is the t-shirt that Roblox made. If I go into paint.net, really useful in image editing software, and I change the blend modes to different and zoom in, you'll notice it's really faint, but you can see a name right there. the Tryhard the Chomik. THECHHARD So if we go back onto Roblox and type in the Tryhard the Chomik, TRX hard the Chomik. Don't know why Roblox is being slow for me today. If we go and search that, you'll notice this account here. I'm going to unfollow it quickly and reload, because you'll notice that when you unfollow it, next to the account thing, if you set up a Roblox account, you can set up website links that are only viewable when you follow the account. So here, if I open that YouTube link right there, that they link there, and look at the description, BOSNIMMFODLMJVAUS. This is a really odd string to see. If we go back to the profile, we'll notice that it says key is Chomik. Now there's a very, very famous cipher called the Visionaire cipher that has a key. So if I go back to decode.fr and use the Visionaire cipher, and type in that thing that we just saw in the YouTube channel's description, and we type in the key as Chomik, and decrypt it, it gives us another account name, the Backyard Chomik. So if I go back on to the backyard, so back onto Roblox and search up the Backyard Chomik, it'll come up with this account. Now, again, this seems like a completely ordinary account. Nothing seems odd about this. You look at all of its inventory, you won't see much. You look at all of its favorites, you won't see much. Unless you look at the places. Because this isn't listed on the side of the page. In this image, there is a hidden code again, much like the t-shirt that we just saw. So if I go back to paint.net, this is the image of the place that we just saw. And this is the Roblox default place picture. So if I enable both of those layers on paint.net, and again do the same trick I did earlier with the difference, I can zoom in there, and you'll see very faintly, Chomik playing now. Very hard to see. CHYMIKTIMEPLAYNOW. So if we look that up, CHYMIKTIMEPLAYNOW, Chomik time play now in people, we'll find another account. Again, this seems like a really difficult thing to find if you don't have that BT Roblox extension installed. So if we go back to this BT Roblox thing and look at its places, sorry, not its places, look at its favorites, and we click on decals, you'll see this Chomik decal here. If you don't have BT Roblox installed, or if you're on mobile, what I recommend doing is going to the Roblox website rather than the app, replacing profile with favorites, and you'll be able to see this account's favorites. That's in the URL, I meant to say. And if you go to its decals, you'll see that Chomik decal again. It's made by an account called Ready Player Chomik. It says don't worry about the image, just focus on the account. So we look at the account. Ready Player Chomik. Now, right off the bat, we immediately notice it's got a weird description. This is the only thing you need to notice in the account. A tale of olden whispers, ascend, ternary in a warm circuit. So, a tale of olden whispers, that's just like preface, don't need to worry about that. The word ascend, ternary. So ternary is base 3. I'm not happy with this translation. It means you've got to say the word ascend 3 times. And it's in a warm circuit. So if I go back onto Roblox, and this is my private server, hold on. If I go back onto Roblox, and I need to find a warm circuit to say the word ascend 3 times in. Now I can think of one place where there would be a warm circuit located. If we go to the lava area, you can fast travel if you have it enabled, just put lava. Nothing's stopping you from fast traveling at any point during this. And continue over here. Climb up this ladder. We're going to notice this massive fire ring here. You may have found Linus here. And if you say the word ascend 3 times, ascend, 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 black hole will start to appear. You can skip to this step if you want. This step is you're completely fine to skip to it if you don't want to do any of the account malarkey. That's just if you want to see the entirety of figuring this out. This black hole will lag your game slightly. And from here, it's kind of difficult to see where you might want to head next. I was looking at this and thinking, okay, there's this weird emblem on the side, one there as well. But I didn't recognize seeing it anywhere. That's nothing you need to worry about. Jumping in the black hole doesn't do anything anyway, it just kills you. So what we need to do from here is we need to go around and find 7 different catalysts for this black hole. So these are all like extreme plus difficulty to find. They're really, really difficult to find. There's 7 different ones of them. And the first one is up here. This part may take a while because I suck at doing basic jumps. We come up here, up to where electric chomik is, like chomik. You'll notice there's like a really transparent invisible path. Not sure how I can make that more clear, because I'm not going to be editing this video because I suck at editing. But if we go up here, through this invisible path, and jump into this cloud, you'll notice there's a catalyst in here. So if we step on that, it will bring it to the black hole that we've just created, and it will slowly enlarge it. We need to do this 7 times in total. So if I come down here to the scorionix grave, and heed on to 2, please, and then come on out, and just do the typical super secret chomik route. Keep it on going. Keep it on going. All the way through. It's easier to look, because the first 2 paths you can just look at the transparent platform you've got to walk on. For the last one, it's easier to look at the little pad that you would normally step on. Except here, you don't want to step on this invisible pad, you want to walk around it, because if you're observant, you'll notice there's a little stud here that you've got to jump on. A little transparent stud. And then if we look out in this direction, you'll notice, again, it's really hard to see. I'm not sure if I can zoom out to see it. But there's a slightly transparent, invisible stud wall that I can walk on over to. Just here. From here, you kind of need to do a little jump of faith down into this section here. And you'll notice there's a catalyst in here. And that will take you right back to the black hole. And it's 2 out of 7. Unfortunately, I would recommend, you might have moved there. I don't recommend moving there because it's very easy to walk off this platform. You don't want to walk off this platform because Theo made the next one, and Theo likes his invisible paths. If you do a walk around there, if you can barely see it, it's a half stud walk around just there. You can jump onto that platform and do the walk around onto there. And keep walking forward. You'll notice another kind of invisible wall that you can walk towards. So you want to walk towards that. It'll take a while, a little bit of a walking simulator. Nothing too bad. Oh, I meant to mention, do not align here. You can't align here. There's another invisible path here. It's not invisible, this is like a little neon path that you can walk over. It's easier to see than the rest. Just keep on walking down this path. You'll soon get to the end of this path down here. And you have to do a corner again onto another little neon platform, just down here. And you'll go on a ladder. You can just hold W or just keep going forward from here on out. It will bring you right up into this block here, this 2 little ladders, all the way up here. And inside of this box, once you get there, you will see that there is another catalyst. This is the only area in which there's 2 separate catalysts in like the same kind of area. I thought I should mention. That last one, that one that I just showed you now, in my opinion, is the hardest one to find. Because not only is it incredibly well hidden, you also need to know to double check the catalyst that you most recently checked, which I didn't. From here, the next one you can check is if you go to the portal area in blue cobblestone. Going up here. This might take me a few tries because I suck. There, you can kind of, there's like a, how do I show this? There's like a little, there's a one stud gap there that's anchor-light bolts. One stud thick gap. So if I continue to hop in here, and get into this gap here, it's easier to see if you turn on graphics 1. You can see like where the little difference in colour is on that wall. That area you have to jump into. And you're suddenly outside, you're standing on a little invisible stud there, and there's a little invisible stud that you've got a head hitter onto there, right above you. And you jump on, oh, that was close. And then you jump on in again and walk through. There's another catalyst in here. That one, in my opinion, is the hardest one to do in terms of obby. Sorry if I showed that really poorly. I don't know how I can easily show that any better. It's just kind of blind guesswork as to where the gap is. It's hidden about here. If you see those two invisible studs there, you need to curve into this one stud gap. Kind of similar to in lava, say, where there is, if you've done light matter and dark matter, there is like a little one stud gap here that you kind of have to jump into. Like that. It's kind of hard to see. From here, if we go back to the blue cobblestone area and go over to Chomik, where Chomik is hidden, we can find another one, actually. If we go all the way over to Chomik, in that little sussy looking... I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But if we continue out here, in case you didn't know, you can jump on top of this area here. There's a Chomik. I got it mixed up with the account name. There's a Chomikception button there if you didn't know. But if you keep walking down here and turn your camera there, you'll notice there's like a little platform you can jump on. Now if I continue walking backwards, it's hard to see, but you may notice the faint outline of another one of those catalysts. Jump in there and get it, send it to the black hole, one closer. The next one we're going to check is in the takis area. So if we go to the desert and hop into the takis portal, I believe you can just straight up dance clip out of this first area. Yeah. And it may take a little while of walking to find it. But in this area, you will find one more catalyst in the kind of out of bounds area of takis. It's pretty cool because you get to see that dark area in complete brightness. I like that. Alright, and then you've got, I think, oh, is it? No, I've got one more, sorry. Then there's one more in the trash area. You gotta go to the suspicious Chomik. If you've done voided Chomik, then this one should be relatively easy. Because it's exactly the same route as voided Chomik. If you look at that garage there and go to the left of it, you'll notice there's some little lights down in the corner here. You want to walk down to those little lights. There's going to be a small gap in the side. You want to go through that gap, and you're going to jump into the little one stud thick gap in the wall there. Now, if you look hard enough, I find it helps looking up. There's a somewhat invisible truss there that you want to jump on. Now, normally if you were getting voided Chomik, you would walk left here, because there's some indication down there, in the form of a faint little line, a little transparent line down here, reflective, that you would follow. But for the catalyst, we want to walk in the opposite direction. We want to go to the right, all the way to the right. Then once we get to the end, we're going to turn left once, and we're going to keep on going in this direction. All the way down. Again, it's a little bit of a walking simulator, like the one at Super Secret, but, you know, you get what you get. That's what this game is like sometimes. All the way down. You know you're in the right place if you see this kind of weird wall here, where there's kind of like a one-side outlet. You jump down here, and there's the final catalyst. This part will lag your game if you have a bad computer. I have a pretty decent computer, and even then it still lags my game. You're going to notice this orb, the black hole, is going to just keep expanding. Just going to keep expanding all the way. The entirety of the overworld is getting sucked into this black orb. A few Chomik decals are still present though, they don't get sucked in, which I find kind of funny. Look at its FPS. 12, 9, 10. I don't even have a bad PC, and it's... wow. It's intense. All the way in. And after you've done that, you get credits. Thanks for playing. Let's wait for it to scroll. There you go. Thanks for playing. This currently is the true end of Find the Chomiks, as far as I'm concerned. You think you've done? No, I'm sorry, man. Still got a little bit more. Just a tiny bit more. It's gonna quickly teleport you to a separate area called ... Now, this area is pretty dark. You have a flashlight, don't need to use it. You'll notice we're in the floating point zone, so gameplay might be a little bit weird. This place also has camera glitch, if you know what that is. So, don't try and ladder flick in the way you maybe normally would. I don't know. Depends who you are. Because normally I would just ladder flick there and then do it again, but I have to let go before clicking again, which is really annoying. If you look at my Chomidex, it's all black hole, all the way down. All the way down. Everything. Recount badges, all the difficulties the same. Absolutely everything. Nulls popping up in the corner. All you've got is a flashlight. And Jeff. Hey Jeff. This is really difficult to find. The Chomik is in this realm somewhere. And I spent a good while trying to find it. Someone was desperately nagging me to check a certain place that I did not think you could get into. I was kind of spoiled on this bit, to be fair, but, you know, it is what it is. I would not have found this otherwise. This is the best hidden thing in the entire server so far, in my opinion. And it's the last step. If you go into the apartment and come over here, you'll notice there's a slightly transparent gap that you can go through. What you want to do here is you want to walk against it and do an E-dance too. And if you're lucky, it will take a long time, but you will clip inside the small gap. You want to spam space and keep on walking out. You'll get out here. You go in first person and walk just here. Yeah, you notice I've already got it. There you go. Black Hole Chomik. That's how you find it. That is a really, really difficult Chomik, and definitely the hardest one by far. If you get it, well done to you. If you get it legit and you're just checking this video to check that you've done it all correct, even more congratulations. Like, genuinely, well done. It took me 8 hours to do it. I don't know from there. The one thing I will say is if you're finishing watching this video before you attempt it, do not touch Obama. Do not, whatever you do not touch Obama. That is the one thing you can touch it, but you want to get the Chomik first. Things will go wrong if you touch Obama. You would have to collect all 7 fragments, all 7 catalysts again, and you do not want to do that. Trust me, this video is 30 minutes long. You don't want to go through all of that again. Just find the Chomik first. It's not worth it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Wish you luck with everything.